Welcome back to halftime. Serving the underserved continues to be a big priority for J.P. Morgan, which is announcing another big investment in that area today down in Philadelphia. That's where we find J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon alongside one of that town's favorite sons, Jim Cramer. Jimmy, it's all yours.
Scotty, thank you for teeing me off, because it's exactly what we want to start talking about, which is serving the underserved, getting people in Philadelphia here at 52nd Street to have ownership. I saw you happier than I've ever seen you. Yeah. You are a banker, a local banker at heart.
Yeah, exactly. People always think of us as big CEOs and corporate headquarters. We do a lot of corporate business. But at the end of the day, we have branches and human beings. They're run by human beings that you saw it. They love their clients. In that community branch, we're doing mortgages for low-income individuals. We're doing small business advice where we bring in the whole community. It's a fabulous concept that we've just really enjoyed doing it.
And this is replicable. You're doing it in other cities. You're in another tough city like Baltimore.
Yeah, we have 15. I've been to like 12 of them so far. We also have 100 community managers. So one of the special things here is we have a branch manager and a community manager who walks the street, meets the local businesses, the not-for-profits, the enterprise, Della, who is here, works with the local religious institutions, brings them in. We've had 60 events there to educate the local population about small business, getting a mortgage, saving money, things like that. So they've been a huge success, and we're just really proud of them. And they're a hell of a lot of fun to go to.
Well, the cynics would say you're just doing this because it's political. You're doing it because you want to look good in Washington. Yeah. That's what I saw. I saw a guy who's actually a banker who's going to make money off the neighborhood because the neighbor is going to do well.
Yeah. The cynics are terrible. They
are terrible. Well, but sometimes you're one of them.
We serve people. Okay, we serve people every day. That branch you saw, we want every branch manager to welcome you like that. You saw the story about the one person who got the mortgage, had lived there for 25 years.
Dynamite.
Khalif, and the woman whose name I don't remember, the mortgage loan officer, who called him every day to get him through the process, and how proud he is to own a home now. And he was telling his son that we own this home. So, you know, that moves. That's one person, but that bends the curve right there.
Okay, so we hear that the mortgage business is tough. Wells Fargo just laid off a lot of people. I didn't see any of that today. I saw on a micro level, not what the Federal Reserve is doing, not what the Fed funds rate is, but about what happens when you revitalize the neighborhood and you get an uplift in business in the whole town.
That's correct. There's good evidence, both anecdotal, and we have some numbers to support that when you have a branch there, that you have local businesses move in, you have a home be sold, it changes the value of things around the area. We've done this now, you know, in D.C. and in Harlem and in Crenshaw, L.A. Yeah, so these things can lift up the whole society. And the other thing, which you may remember, we hire locally. The art is done locally. When we bring in food, it's local vendors. The place was reconstructed by a black construction company. So everything we do, we try to do local. It's really a community branch. And with local outreach, and they've been great.
All right, so how do you jive the real banker you are, I mean, community real banker, with something like, oh, my God, we're going to have recession, so therefore we're in trouble. The Federal Reserve this, Fed funds rate that. These don't seem to work together. Are there two economies, the economy that we obsess about and the economy that is creating a great wealth in this area?
Yeah, I mean, I basically run the company. I know that the economy go up or down.
Right.
We don't run it that way. We do it this way. We build branches, we hire people, we train people, we build technology, and we basically do it through thick or thin. And even more than that, I want to be helping this community regardless of the environment. We will be there for clients regardless of the environment. Yes, we all talk about the economy, you guess about it, but we manage through it, and we try to make sure we can handle whatever it throws at us, which is often different than you expect.
All right, we got a $3 trillion base here, which is just incredible, largest in the world. So I know you have to worry about recession. Over the big panoply that you have. Do you tell people, listen, batten down?
I tell people not really. Yes, on certain things, but for the most part, no. But we always have a recession playbook. What you might do with certain credit.
Well, you're breaking it out right here?
Say it again?
You're breaking out the recession playbook right now.
Not really.
No.
Right now, the U.S. economy, this is the contradiction here.
Okay.
The U.S. economy right now is doing quite well. Consumers have a lot of money. They're spending it. Jobs are plentiful. I think it's fabulous, by the way, that wages are going up for the low end. So I get a lot of complaints from CEOs about that.
Oh, but that's inflationary.
But they haven't had a pay raise for 20 years.
No.
And so, you know, here our minimum wage is something like the 40th percentile of all Americans, and they get dental and medical and things like that. But it's wonderful. That's today. out in front of us, there's some scary stuff. And you and I know there's always uncertainty. Like,
right.
That's a normal thing.
Okay.
This uncertainty is a little bit more than that.
But you think about this. For a long time, we said, oh, the Fed's behind the curve. Now we say they're ahead of the curve. Maybe they're going to hurt us. I'm not hearing that we should obsess. Maybe we are obsessing about every quarter point. Because you've been there when it's 7, 8. You've been there when it's 10. You've been there when it's 13. You still did your business.
Yeah. We will be fine regardless of the interest rates out there. And we prepare to handle the fat tails. Not the ones you expect, the ones you don't expect, because you want that from me. You want JP Morgan Chase to be a strong entity regardless of the environment. And like I said, I want to serve the client regardless of the environment. So, look, the Fed will do what it has to do. It's kind of caught up. They're going to pause. We all know that for a while. They should. It may not be enough. And so I think people should be a little...
The 2% inflation, are you there for that?
No, I think it'll take a while. I just don't think it'll come down long enough.
Higher and longer?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah.
That hurts. Will that hurt lending? Will it hurt what you're trying to accomplish on 52nd Street in Philadelphia?
All things being, it won't do anything we were doing here. It won't change our plans at all. All things being equal, it might be slightly worse for the economy. There's still a chance for a soft landing. I mean, right. I wouldn't take that off the list of possibilities.
Okay, now across the street from this bank is a check cashing outfit.
Yeah.
We know that there's also AI lending. We know that there's buy now, pay later. A lot of people have tried to reinvent things. Maybe it's phony tech. Bank versus what I know you might think of as phony tech. Where are you?
Yeah. It's not fun. I mean, AI is real. Like we already use AI, machine learning, natural language processing in 300 cases. And we do it to reduce risk, fraud, marketing. When we move money around the world, it's running through OFAC systems, sanction systems, risk systems. It also uses AI to make sure, is this abnormal? Is it a bad pattern? We use voice recognition. We have tons of things to stop the...
Well, that's not new. I mean, what Jensen Wong said like, from NVIDIA, you're already doing it. I know you're doing machine learning logic, and it's working for you.
That's correct. But I would say to everyone out there, it is still at the early stages. This is real. This is a dramatic change, and people should get really geared up for how you can use AI for good. Right. And remember, it can be used for bad. So there's a little bit of an arms race. The bad guys are going to use it too, and you have to just keep that in mind.
All right, so, I mean, look, it's in the news today. You guys issued JP Morgan. This is the type of thing when I was a homicide reporter, I used to spring on people. I'm going back 40 years. JP Morgan admits Jeff Staley had inappropriate contact with Jeffrey Epstein. It's you guys saying this. How come the AI doesn't catch stuff like that?
It probably would have. But I think, basically, I can't talk about specific litigation.
Right. Is this the end of it?
We have extraordinary amount of risk, legal control people, talented people. A lot of them come out of the DOJ, the attorney generals, who know what they're doing, who have to make judgment calls. And hopefully they make the good ones.
Okay, so let's talk about... I need you to talk about what is... I have to regard as the banker I saw today versus the things I read from you. And I say that because sometimes I lose hope when I hear you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like this morning, when I see you smile, see you congratulate people, talk about, even in somewhat expletive, deleted way, how exciting it is. How do you... I'm having trouble, Jamie, with the one that is saying, listen, there's a lot of gloom, we got to get together, with the one that says there's a lot of good things happening.
Yeah, they're both a little true. First, I love seeing our people and seeing our clients getting out on the road, and you learn something every day. I hug the woman who made that mortgage. I mean, literally, it warms my heart. And so but I'll just put in this perspective. Economy's good today. There's always uncertainty, but it's heightened now. It's heightened because of QT, Russia, Ukraine, oil, gas, war, migration, trade, China. And that's a rational thing. But then put out here, what I really feel, America is the most prosperous nation on the planet. We have all the food-borne energy we need. We have enormous innovation. We're going to get through everything.
Oh, but just that's called in January for a Marshall Plan for food and energy.
Yeah,
Why do we need a Marshall Plan? We got all we need.
No, for the world. Because
you said America always has to be put first.
Yes, but I think America first, but America has to help. If you don't have American leadership around the world, I mean, mature, polite, diplomatic, it can't be our way or the highway. If you don't have it, you're going to have chaos. The only one who can lead is America. I'm not saying that because I'm being arrogant.
No!
It's the military, economic, and capabilities that we have.
But at the same time, in the same breath, you said in your January piece, don't forget, FDR and Churchill made common cause with Stalin, one of the worst totalitarian leaders of our lifetime, to defeat Hitler. At the same point, you talk about maybe we need to have allies, common cause allies, just on this issue. I read your pieces saying maybe we got to go to China and defeat Putin. together?
I don't think we can do that. But
why not?
But I think the real point is American leadership, real politic. This is not worrying about not real politic, which is my reference to Stalin, and that we've got to make sure our allies are safe, and that they want to trade with us and they want to ally with us and stuff like that, which is diplomatic. But oil and gas, you see what it could have done to Europe?
Right.
It's already hurting a lot of poor nations. It's hurting poor people. Governments have to basically subsidize it even more. So I'm trying to make the point is that if we don't get affordable, reasonable, secure energy, it would be bad for the world. And, by the way, it's going to be bad for CO2 because you see countries around the world turning back on their coal plants. So I'm making the argument we need comprehensive strategy to make sure we get through this and make the world safe for democracy for the next 100 years.
All right, so let's just go back to that's the juxtaposition. I saw people today who are going to be empowered. The neighborhood, I know that there's a 50% lift. We went to 9 and 19th, which is an even tougher area, so to speak. There's on back a few years ago. I look at all this, and then I think about, okay, so I need to worry about J-PAL. I need to worry about the Fed. There's something wrong here. There's something wrong because maybe that's too short a term. Maybe what we're thinking about when we talk about the Fed is not what is happening, boots on the ground here.
Yeah, I think they're different. I mean, the Fed, look, I have all respect for Jay Powell, but the fact is we lost a little bit of control of inflation. Models didn't pick that up. I've always been suspicious of models, and when we use them extensively, I always say that you use a little bit of judgment too. And there's been a sea change. Governments are borrowing a lot of money. And you got to incorporate that in what's taking place. That means they're spending it. That's inflationary. Wages we've seen come down, but not so much.
Right.
Oil and gas will probably be going up because the investment in it has been curtailed.
Right.
And the green economy, we think that's close to $4 trillion a year of additional spending. So you're talking, and the IRA Act, which I think has a lot of good stuff in it, the Infrastructure Act, the CHICS Act, this is huge money. And so you've had a sea change. And I think we should all get adjusted to that. We'll have more normalization of interest rates, and we'll be fine. Just remember, America's the most prosperous area on the planet. We'll be fine.
Okay, but I know that area very well. My family's been here for 175 years. Mm-hmm. That area has not had vibrancy for 65 years. Right. Are you telling me that government did anything to that area? We talk about the government needs this, government did nothing for that area. That's why that area is so underbanked and the people are poorer than they should be. JP Morgan is more important than the government when it comes to that area. Yeah. Why talk about the government so much? So you're the business source. Business is the greatest source for social change.
Yeah, I totally agree, but we need good government policy, and we got to do it in collaboration. So we're doing a lot of collaboration there. The mayor was there.
Yes, that was great.
You need zoning laws changed. You need inner city schools
and your
to teach
people
kids.
Will do that? Your branch will do that?
We try to do all of that. We try to get kids jobs. We're hiring ex-felons now. We got rid of college degree required where necessary. Right. But we need government to change the mortgage laws to make them more affordable to people. We need government to do a better job in inner city school education. We need government to do a better job with the zoning laws for affordable housing. So, in collaboration, you can lift up that neighborhood. And you're absolutely correct. A lot of government rules, regulations, requirements, they completely backfire. They have the total adverse consequence to what they were intended to do, but they don't change them. So we need government to be a little more reactive.
You need government. Now, we're talking to Jamie Dimon, Chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase. I'm so glad that Scott Wapner gave us a chance. We are going to be back with you later on Mad Money. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Scott?
Jimmy, we appreciate it.